I'm doing day 182, Introduction to My Anxiety series. I'm going over fears. This fear is fear of being seen in a bad light, part 2.2. And within this fear, I did self-forgiveness and self-corrective statements on the fear of being seen in a bad light. And what I wrote about was a memory that I had actually at the farm. And one day, Bernard asked me, why did I stop vlogging? And within me, I kind of went blank in myself. I realized that that was a defense mechanism to not have to face the fact that if I really looked at the point of why I stopped vlogging was a point of self-interest, based on wanting myself to be seen in a specific way, this like perfect way, and kind of losing control of the point of vlogging because it got backed up and I had a lot to do for one day, and so it kept accumulating as I was staying there, and so it got so much that I couldn't handle it anymore. And so I kind of just let it go and let it not, push myself to do it. And so within this point of him asking me this, I went into immediate fear, I remember, because I wanted him to see me in this specific way, in a way obviously that I'm, on top of things. I'm excelling at what I'm doing. I want him to see me excelling and think that I'm the best. And so within this point of being confronted and not being the best or not being on top of what I'm doing, I went into this fear. So I did self-forgiveness on, realizing that based on this desire to be seen in a specific way by someone, I'm always going to create this fear of loss or fear of being seen in a bad light, because the polarities play off each other. Because I'm not living, in fact, in how I am in reality. I'm not living as reality. I'm not living in self-honesty, which is in fact, but I'm living within my mind in some specific picture that I want to be and be perceived as by others, but that can never be because it's not real. And so if I'm not seen, if I don't perceive myself within how others are speaking to me or, acting towards me, that I'm not being seen as the best, it will create emotional experiences and reactions within me of judging myself, seeing myself in fear, seeing myself bad. And so it creates a, kind of a domino effect in how I live within myself when I see that I'm not being seen by others in the best light. And so, realizing this point, doing the self-forgiveness on these points, also doing self-forgiveness on desiring to be seen in a specific way, because this again is looking into the future, into pictures in my mind, and not living as I am here, accepting myself as who I am. And so really walking this point of acceptance of myself and acceptance of who I am in each living moment, and thus from this acceptance I can then change myself. If I'm not accepting myself and denying who I am and thus judging myself, I'm never going to be able to change myself, because this denial is like a resistance point. And so I'll never face the point actually, totally, and be able to change that point, but I'm looking at fragments. I'm looking at the points that I want to see and accept and that will just keep me fragmented and separated and never be able to actually physically live the change because I'm not considering all the points. So within accepting myself and accepting my situation, I then can change. So within this point of Bernard asking me, why did you stop the vlogging instead of going to fear? And, not being able to say anything because I couldn't think of anything to say. If I was living in self-honesty, then I would just speak. I fell, I fell, I couldn't keep up with it. And then I discuss the point, with him and probably gain some perspective and assistance. Because obviously I'm not being effective within the vlogging point, so it's not to, condemn myself and see myself in fear and see myself as this bad person, but just accept the point, and so I can gain whatever consequence will be gained from that point, say assistance or, whatever the consequence may be. And then from that point on, correct the point and live the change, and then from there you become more effective because you can learn from this point and not make the same mistake. So it's really being aware within my living and being in, physical reality, accepting myself and being able to correct myself as I live. And that's a huge key to harness and foster within self, because if you can correct yourself in your living and not go into judgment or, fear, but be here in reality and just accept what is here, you'll be a much more effective, more self-empowered person. So it's a cool point to practice, of course, and get stable with him. So then the commitments, just pushing these points to live here in the physical, live here in breath, live here in self-honesty, accept who I am, accept what I've done in my past, and be able to make the appropriate changes and corrections in my living so I don't make the same mistakes. So that was a cool point to write about, and that is it for this vlog. The contact is falling out. Alright, thanks for listening. Bye.